we're going to be going through what shuffle actually is and how we can use it, or what it is we're going to be doing with it as SOC analysts, right? So after that, we're going to be discussing about some soft skills required, or soft skills every SOC analyst should have. Then we can call it the end of our class, or the end of this session. Thank you very much. So let me quickly share my screen. And yeah, you need to keep in mind, if you want to install Shuffle, you need to keep in mind that Shuffle is a very, very resource intensive tool. Yeah, it actually it's very, very resource intensive because it's almost crashed my system. I think yesterday the night when I was trying to troubleshoot it, because last in our last class it was giving us a problem. It refused to open, so I had to troubleshoot it yesterday the night, and it almost crashed my system. I had to restore some stuff. So it's a very, very resource intense tool. You need to be careful with that. So, as I said in our last class, I'm going to be running Shuffle using Docker. So, you can see this is the Docker container. This is the Docker container. This is everything it contains. You have the front end, OpenSearch, back end, and this Oboros, whatever it is. As you can see, it's using 7.33 gig of RAM on my system right now. We are not even running any heavy workloads, just running the tool alone. It's using 7.33 gig of RAM. So you can imagine how resource intensive the tool can be. Right. So let's quickly open up our tool. All right. So basically, this is our shuffle workflow. Right. So this is our shuffle dashboard. This is where I want to create it first. To open shuffle, not really this place. I want to show you some summaries of your tool, and actually your first or the first place I want to create in. You have use cases, workflows, apps, content, documentation, and them. So first one, let's go to automate. Right, automation is basically where we do our work, where we design our automation workflow and everything. As you can see, we have organization workflow. We have only one workflow, which is the brute force I created just to test. And my workflow, obviously, only one. Also, community workflow. They have no collaborative workflow. These are just templates you can just click and maybe use or modify. If you want to shuffle enrichment, maybe you want to create an automation for enrichment, you can just simply, I can just show you guys how it works. You can just click this edit Wazoo ticket handler, email reader, Gmail reader, sorry, shuffle, or whatever it is. You can get a lot of workflows from this, right? Workflow templates instead of you creating workflow from scratch. Right, so that's basically what it is. So all forms, we have no organization forms. Yep. So we have use cases. So these use cases are basically just also like templates, which is just showing you how you can use or leverage your shuffle for your automation. You can see we have detect, search, you can use your sim tool. Try this use case. You can see sim tool here. You can choose your sim tool. Okay, let's say you want to choose was Elasticsearch, Microsoft Defender, Wazoo, Splunk, Datadog, QA. A lot of um, a lot of sim tools, right? You can just choose and just try to use the table work. Sorry, try to use the use case as a template or something like that. And then we have apps. So these apps are basically what you also call notes in Wazoo. Oh, sorry, in Shuffle, right? So these apps are what you're going to be leveraging in order to create your workflows, because these apps are basically uh, the whole thing, right? Without them, you cannot create any workflow. Then we have the content. So these content are basically some configurations of settings. We have the forms. We have no forms here. Data stores. So this basically where your data is being stored. This is yeah, category blah blah. I can just go through it. We have the health file. This is maybe the health of the your shuffle instance. Yeah, we are going to be seeing notification. Maybe if there's anything important for you to see, something like that, basically. So Docker, so it's going to be showing us, yeah, that's our that's where we are running our instance from or on. Partners, we have no partners here, yeah, because we're not partnering with them, obviously. Documentation, so this documentation is for any support on, right? You can connect your accounts in this orgs, SSIO, blah blah blah. Basically, the this you can enable okay what
Hello, sir. If you can
notification
hear
want to
me.
see okay error
Hello,
help
sir.
you find potential
Hello, sir.
problem if there's any yeah
If you can hear
hello
me, your
I can hear you
network is
also.
really breaking. Your network is really breaking.
Wow, I'm not sure that is it that you can't hear me clearly or well,
Yeah, but we are beginning to hear you now. We are beginning to hear you now.
all right so I really hope you what you can hear me now, right?
Yes, we can. We can hear you now.
All right.
But the screen, you can check your screen. I don't know if it is only me, but I'm not seeing your screen.
Thank you very much. Please do let me know if there's any part you miss due to network. All right, so I think we can continue, right? I really hope. I don't know why the network is breaking, but it's not showing me any signs from this side. Yeah, so so saying this is notification page, you can just explore what notifications you want to see and why you want to see them and all this stuff. So these are the users. You can add give your team members access to this same shuffle instance so that they can build workflows with you or something like that. So obviously this tool can be used as a leader or choose the role. I mean, so that's basically so. Let's get to creating our own workflow. In this case, we are going to call it a playbook because we are creating an incident response playbook, something that's going to respond to an incident for us. So that's basically what we are doing. So we are creating an incident response workflow or playbook, sorry, in our instance or in our case. So let's run to automate them workflows. Let's go to this one. For basically, you want to create a new workflow. Obviously, I just want to click on create new workflow, name the workflow, description, then the use case. You don't actually, if you want an email, if you want to create an
Hello,
email management automation, you can click on email
hello,
management. If you want to create an EDR ticket, which
hello,
is
sir.
an endpoint detection and response to tickets, right? Maybe when you create automatically create a ticket, maybe your ticket is systems such as Jira or Hive, whatever it is company uses. So we have same two tickets. Okay,
Hello,
what?
sir. Can you hear me? Can you stop
Yeah.
sharing and share again? We can't see your screen. Can you stop sharing and share again, please?
Hello.
Can you stop sharing and share again? We can't see your screen, sir.
All right. So let me try. All right. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, we can. Yes, thank you.
All right. So it's also please confirm if you can see my. I can see. That's correct.
Yes, we can see it now. Thank you very much.
All right. So I think everyone can see my screen. So as I was saying, this is basically us trying to create a workflow for our automation, right? So let me just start from it will bring you up onto this page. This workflow I already created. Name the workflow, give it a description, and then you can choose a work case if you want. You can choose an email management, EDR to ticket, SIM to ticket. If you want to enrich, okay, internal enrichment, external enrichment, sandbox. What you were trying to say something is also. Yeah. Yeah, but it depends on you actually, or it depends on what you actually do. Because what I cannot app. As you can see, this the apps we have. You can use whatever app. There are almost I think 2,500 plus apps in Shuffle in which you can use to design your workflow. So you can do almost anything with it, right? So this is basically a default node in which it's like it must be there. It's one thing that makes workflow right. It must actually need to delete it right now. So then we have this triggers and alert. It's we want the Splunk the alert to be sent to our shuffle instance so that we can try to respond to that alert, or we can automatically or make shuffle automatically respond to that alert. So that's basically this web hook, right? So let me quickly open my Splunk instance and show you guys how it will set shuffle, sorry, Splunk to send you your alert to your shuffle instance, right? Well, I think my screen is automatically, I don't know why it is connecting on its own, or it's not supposed to be like that. So I believe you guys can see my screen right now. It's not supposed to disconnect. Yeah, so basically this my Splunk is so I want to show you guys how you can make Splunk send the alert automatically into your shuffle workflow that can automatically respond to those alerts, right? All right, so let's for example, let's check our search history. Um, basically, this what you don't okay, this is just real time. You want it to be detecting the alert in real time. Let's yeah, so let's just leave it as this. Expires in 24 hours. So if no one responds to the alert, it will automatically expire within 24 hours. So trigger condition if number of results is greater than zero, yeah. So whenever we have one condition that meets our logic, our detection logic, our XPL query, it will automatically trigger the alert. So this where you are going to decide okay, whether you want to send the alert to Splunk, oh sorry, to Shuffle or not. And you can even choose to send the alert to your email directly or choose your email directly or I think SMS. I'm not sure. Let me just click on add action. So you can just select add to trigger alert. If you click on add to trigger alert, it will just show on your Splunk instance. When you open your Splunk and go to activity alert, it will show you this. So what we need is you can run a script. Okay, maybe you can create a script. So that's why most people say it's best for you to learn programming language or scripting languages. Then an email, send it to I think my screen is not sharing anymore. I don't know why. Can you guys even hear me? Oh my god. I don't know why my screen automatically stops sharing by itself for some reason. Yeah. So basically this as, as I was saying, so you already set okay, you want to set it such that whenever there's an alert being triggered, it should send it to click on this shuffle sorry, this webhook. It will open this page where you're going to set or where it is you're going to be setting whatever it is you want to set. If clicking on this blue and maybe connect me to another node, maybe if you add another one, so something like that basically. You can also click on the line. You can click on the line and flip the branch. So if you flip on this branch, instead of this change me to first add another one by execute, then send, and then this change me will now execute. So that's basically it. And you can delete the branch because we don't actually need that. You can just delete that. So you can connect this to this, and so basically that's it. So you can't, point a webhook to a webhook for some obvious reason. So basically, this is how it's right here. So you can just simply click on this. Let's say this is a new one, right? You can name the webhook. You can name it whatever it is you want to name it. You can name it okay. Brute force alert. Yeah. So associated apps optional blah, blah. So this is basically the webhook URL in which you're going to be copying. So you're going to copy this and paste it here in your Splunk instance so that your Splunk will know, okay, this is the instance or this is the webhook I'm going to be sending this alert to. I don't know why the network is giving me a problem, but the other apps are working perfectly fine with network. Yeah, so I think so. As I was saying, is there any question before we continue? Any question related to what we talked about? Maybe related to shuffle right now. Is there any question before we continue? And are you guys even understanding what I am saying, or understanding? Do you guys understand what we did so far?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, and yeah, you also.
Okay. Yeah, because of the network, it's really difficult to get some of the things you are trying to do, right? And secondly, I wanted to ask, this is security orchestration and automation and response. Is this what Shuffle is all about? And if it is, from the installation you did that you said it almost crashed your system, is there no way we
Yeah, so
can
basically, we're talking
leverage
about
cloud?
SOAR, and
Is
Shuffle
there
is
no
an SOAR platform.
Okay, it's an SOS platform. Okay, okay, that's true. But we could not, I don't think I couldn't pick anything meaningful because of the way the
Please,
network
can
was
you repeat your
choppy.
question, Mr. Also?
Are you hearing me now?
Um, Mr. Also, can you just repeat your question? I didn't get what you said.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, I'm saying if we want to apply this EXO, right?
Yeah,
Is there a way we can leverage like the cloud platform? Does it have a cloud platform? Because this one where you talk say you want crash your system, you understand? So even if we want to
yeah, yeah.
practice, like some of us that have like a lesser system with less RAM, I don't think we can use this. So does it have a cloud platform? If it does, that's okay.
Yeah, actually, it has a cloud. Shuffle has a cloud instance, and also you can every single SIM that you can use in the cloud also have their own SOAR orchestration, integrated in it, such as Sentinel. Sentinel has their own automation or SOAR automation in it. You don't need to install another tool for automation, right? So that's basically it. Sentinel has its own. Splunk also has its own. Splunk Cloud also has its own. So if you want to use Splunk in the cloud, you can go ahead and use its automation or SOAR, functionalities or SOAR features, right? Yeah, it's available in the cloud. And also, you can also
Okay,
leverage. There's
thank you.
another SOAR platform called Cortex. You can also try to use that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I can see
I
Mr.
don't know if you get that.
Bayomi
It's
is
also
raising. Yes,
all right.
yes, yes. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that. Mr. Abayemi, you can ask a question.
All right, good morning. Thank you, Mr. Idris. Yeah, my question is when you were sending the alerts, you were showing where you can send a triggered alert, for probably automated
Yeah,
alert and all. You mentioned email and the likes. Then there's other one, webhook. So the webhook, I understand that you can actually use Slack for webhook for to get automated alert like instant alert and all. So aside Slack, is there any other application that you can actually use, like any API that you can actually integrate with your Splunk to get immediate alerts, probably when you're not on your system?
yeah, basically that's what we are currently doing with the automation with the shuffle. So you see, we use the webhook to connect our shuffle workflow so that whenever an alert is being generated in Splunk and maybe we are not active, it can automatically send those alerts to our shuffle using the webhook. So then what we're trying to do now is to create an incident response playbook so it can automatically respond to that alert. If you connect the webhook using maybe Slack or email, it only sends the alert. Okay, this alert was being triggered and this is the source IP and so on and so forth. You need to do the investigation yourself. So what Shuffle does for us is that we can create a playbook that can automatically respond to those incidents or those alerts that are being generated, right? So that's basically Shuffle can do that for us. You can also use email. You can use there are a lot of actually platforms you can use with webhook, but the best is for automation. Actually, that's one of the best ways, or one of the ways we use automation as SOC analysts. Actually,
So basically now the shuffle is like for being proactive and reactive towards attacks.
yes,
Okay. Does it have like a mobile interface also that probably when you're not on your system and you want to get update or probably alert? Like Slack now, Slack Messenger has like a mobile and a desktop version that okay, when you're not on your
yeah.
system, you can still get alerts on your mobile and does Shuffle have something like that also?
Yeah, so one thing with Shuffle is that Shuffle integrates with over 2,500 plus applications, as I mentioned. You can also integrate that same Shuffle with your Slack application. You can integrate it with your email application. If you are good in programming, you can also create an application to link the Shuffle with. You can do whatever it is you want to do with it. If you want a flexibility, maybe you want flexibility, maybe if an alert is being generated, you can even design the app to even maybe call you. Maybe your phone should just ring or something like that, actually you have maximum flexibility because it's an automation platform. Obviously, it's meant to be automated, so you can do whatever it is you want to do with it. You can connect to your Slack if you want SMS. Whenever an alert is being generated, it can automatically do some investigation for you and send the results to your SMS or WhatsApp. Yes, it can actually do that after even responding to the incident, not even just it sending the alert. After responding to the incident, it can send the message for you. It just depending on how companies or your company wants it to be. But if you are working on a personal project, you can try that out. And also, most companies or what most teams do is they use Slack or Jira or any ticketing system or Hive. So whenever an alert is being generated, it send it to Shuffle. Shuffle automatically responds to it and do some enrichment, and then send it to the Slack, send it to your Slack messaging, or it will send it to your ticketing system to maybe create a ticket so a SOC analyst or a tier two SOC analyst or incident responder can come and respond to that team incidents and do some further investigation to confirm the information gotten from the response that the workflow did, because we can't just rely on whatever was gotten from an automation workflow. Although it gives accurate results, but you need to also just confirm by yourself. So basically, what we're going to be doing right here, I'm going to be showing you guys how you can create a playbook. We're going to be creating a playbook. We're going to be triggering a brute force attack. So after we trigger the brute force attack, we're going to create a playbook that will automatically enrich the IP address for us. Okay, check whether the IP address has been tagged as malicious in maybe in threat intelligence platforms such as Abuse at IPDB or Fire's Total. You can choose to use one of them. It will automatically check and maybe respond to configure email or to use your email service in Shuffle. We need an email server and all this stuff. And we don't currently run a company, or so we can't actually do all of that. But I will show you guys how you can do it right here. I hope I've answered your question, Mr. Abayami.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah, you are welcome. And I would advise anyone who is interested in automation, because if you start automation, believe me, you'll surely enjoy it. So, is there anyone who has any question before we continue? All right, so it seems like no one has a question. Let's quickly continue with our workflow, right? I believe everyone can see your screen, my screen, sorry. Everyone should be able to see my screen, right? um so this is our shuffle workflow, right? So this is basically our shuffle workflow, which we are trying to build something. Right now we only have our webhook. So this webhook is basically set to receive alert from our Splunk instance, which is right here. This is the alert basically. So that this webhook is actually set to receive alert from our Splunk instance, which we copied this URL and pasted it in our Splunk, so it can receive alerts from there, right? So what next to do? Let me quickly just give a quiz. Who can try to guess what next we are going to do, or what node or application we should add in order to build our playbook, which I just explained. We are trying to build a playbook that will automatically enrich our IP address for us, so we can try to guess what next we should be doing and
No
how
problem.
we are going to be doing it.
Just want to be sure. That is all.
Huh? You're trying to ask the question, Mr. Bami Daily.
Never mind, boss.
All right. Thank you very much for that. So, as I said, who can try to tell us which node we should add next? Since we're trying to create a playbook or workflow that will automatically respond to an incident or the alert, it will check for the IP, the IP reputation online, and also give us feedback or give us accurate results.
Okay, can I say something?
Yeah, you can say something, Mr. Ostos.
Okay, so if we are looking towards once we have received the alert, and then after analysis, we could see if it is a brute force attack, we could see like external IPs trying to hit our internal system. We
Yeah,
might want to, in our playbook, build in threat intelligence enrichment platforms like IP geolocation.io. We can think of Abuse IPDB, just like you mentioned earlier. We can equally think
yeah.
of who is, just to ensure that we enrich that external IP and see if we can, prove that it is, it has like certain confidence of abuse, and understand the location and understand, certain IOCs, very, very important, certain IOCs. So I think we should integrate. The next thing to do is to see how we can, integrate threat intelligence enrichment platforms into our playbook.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Mr. Osus, and that's actually correct. So what we are going to be doing next is to try to integrate a threat intelligence platform into our workflow in order to enrich the IP address gotten from the brute force alert. Obviously, since it's a brute force alert, what you want to be focusing on is the IP address. But every single alert has its own, stuff, or something to uh, focus more on. Maybe if it's a malware detected, then obviously we are going to be using malware enrichment platforms to try to test for the malware and something like that. Yeah. So basically, what we are going to be doing is to look for our whatever threat intelligence platform node application. So we already have the abuse IPDB version 2. But if you are newly if you newly install Shuffle, we are not going to be seeing this, right? If you newly install Shuffle, you are not going to be seeing the abuse IPDB here. You need to it's here because these are only the apps here. As I told you guys, you have 2,500 plus applications, and you're always seeing this here. So if you can pull virus total, yeah, as you can see, virus total we have version 3. So we're going to be using as we have an AWS network firewall. In case you have an AWS firewall in your company, and maybe when the IP address, if the IP address is being enriched and it's being tagged as malicious, you can make it to automatically block the IP address from the firewall before you even maybe wake up from sleep, or maybe go to work the next day or whatever it is. So that's basically using this. You can block IP address. You can whatever it is you can do a lot of things actually. So we're going to be using abuse. Sorry. So we already have it in our tools. So all you need to do is just to drag it, and here it is. So it needs. Oh my god, it's giving us error. So let's just go back to our tools right here and just drag it right here. So I don't know why it's did that thing for us, but that's not really what we need. So basically, this is our abused IPDB node, right? So right now, what we're going to be doing right now is to set it to enrich our IP address gotten from our brute force attack, right? So as I said, this what this does is actually you know just repeat back. This is a repeat node. Just repeat back whatever it is that's being sent to the node. So let me give you an example. If this webhook is being triggered, it sends it to this repeat back to me. So it just automatically repeats it back to this Abusel IPDB, and the workflow continues and continues and continues. So that's why it's yeah. So basically, you want this to be like this. We don't want this to go directly to this for some obvious reasons, right? So you can just click on this. So right now, what I want to be doing is to configure our abuse IPDB node to enrich our IP address. To get blacklists, you can click on other parameters and quickly set the police right here. But we don't actually need that right now. What we need is to check the IP address reputation, right? You can check network block, custom actions. You can create your own custom actions. But what you want is to check IP address reputation. Then this is where we are going to be imputing the IP address value. Which IP address do you want to even check their reputation for? Okay, we want to check the reputation for the IP address gotten from this webhook. And don't forget, the data in this webhook is the data of the alert that is being generated from our Splunk instance, right? Let me quickly, before I even start setting it, let me explain this first. You might be asking this. So the reason why I said I don't want to delete this at the beginning is because if I want to generate another new alert, I need to start my VM, which is going to take a lot of resources, right? So I'm currently running on a 16 gig RAM, and my Ubuntu alone actually has 5 gig RAM, and Docker currently is using um, it's currently using 7 gig RAM. So that's going to make this very, very slow. So that's why I already have alerts that were being generated, right? So, just give me a minute, sorry. So I already have alerts that were being generated in my webhook. So I'm just going to leverage or use those alerts. And one thing about I like about Shopee is that if you generate one alert, you don't need to keep generating alert to keep testing your detection as you grow or add more nodes to your detection. You can just use the alert that was being generated once to keep seeing or keep getting results. So this is basically the results we got from I got when I was busy testing detection yesterday, which almost crashed my system. Yeah, so this basically you can just you can see this was 10:51 yesterday in the night, 7th, yeah, today 8. So it's 777. So these were all brute force alerts being generated. So it automatically sends this to this brute force. You can click on this. As you can see, this is how it comes in. It comes in a form of JSON, right? It comes in a JSON format. This is the search name, brute force, obviously, app, search and report in Splunk. Yeah, that's the name of the app. So the owner is admin. Sorry. So the owner, admin, results link, this is it, blah, blah. You can just check it out. So this is the result. You can minimize this, and you can maximize this. So this is the time when the alert was being generated. Time, which I can't even read this timestamp, but this is basically just the time. Then the host target virtual box, which is the username for my Ubuntu endpoint, which is and this is the source IP address. And you don't forget in our last class, I showed you guys how you can extract fields from your logs. So basically, we extracted the source IB field because it was not automatically extracting it for us. So that's why we extracted, because so we can know which one is even the source IP when we want to do our automation, something like that. So we have failed attempts. We have approximately 239 failed attempts because obviously we ran a brute force attack and it's very, very fast. It tries different password in just a very short period of time. Right. So that's because we have 239 failed attempts. So this is basically it. And if you want to rerun this, you can just simply refresh this. But if you refresh it, you are not going to get anything back because we are not currently trying to simulate an attack, right? So so you can see this is our source IP. So we now know where we are getting our source IP from. So we can just click on our abuse IPDB to continue our configuration. As you can see, we already choose the action, which is the get check IP address, right? You want to check for IP address reputation, you can click on this IP address. You can, so if you want to check for the IP address, as you can see, it says IP address. You're just going to type in the address, maybe 172.20.10.3. No, what you're going to be doing is click on this plus icon. If you click on this plus icon and you click on run argument, it's going to show you results from whatever node you have. Whatever node you have is going to show you results. As you can see, we have the you know this, we have the results, we have time. As you can see, it's even showing you us the value. We have the host. It's not showing us the host. The host obviously, which is our target virtual box, I think, which is the username for our Ubuntu virtual machine. Then we have the source IP and we have the field attempts, right? So basically, all we need is the source IP, which is the field we need for our IP address right here. So you can see this is how, or the format in which it displays, something like that. So optional parameters, we don't actually need to edit any single thing here because this is the only thing that is required for us, right? It's required. You need to fill this in, but all these are optional. You don't actually need this. Yeah. Also, you're going to be wondering, before you can be able to use abuse IBDP, you need to set up, or you need to configure, you need to use an portal right here. You can click on setup and you can see name abuse IBDP. So this name is basically the name for our node. You see, so this name is, you name the node so you can actually know what you're doing, because if it's an industry standard on production environment workflow, it's going to be, there are going to be a lot of nodes. So you need to just name it in a way in which to understand, okay, what this node is even about. We can decide to name it um threats, threats intel. Yeah. So, and then this authentication, this is one of the this is also very important. So before you can authenticate, you need to authenticate your abuse IPDP before you can be able even to connect it to your shuffle instance. So what you're going to be doing is to head on to abuse IPDP. Let us click on enter. Give us something, right? So this our abuse IPDP site. Yeah, so you need to sign up. If you don't have an account, you need to sign up. And if you already have an account, you need to log in. So I already have an account. All I need to do is log in. I think no, I created it with this. So let me just quickly log in. Yeah, so as I see, I logged in and we already have our account, our abuse IBDB account. You can see the name, username, email, blah 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 blah. So what you need to do is to head on to your API, which is my API, which you're going to be using to authenticate your account in order to use abuse IDDP in your shuffle instance. You can see copied, and obviously there's not going to be an authentication right here. You can just simply click on plus. It's because already I had an authentication. So all you need to do is to paste your um, um yeah, so all you need to do is to paste your API key right here and click on submit. Let's change this. The reason why I'm doing this is because we now have two authentication, right? So we will know which one we just said right now. Sorry, and we already have. So as you can see, we have The one I told you guys already set since yesterday, and this one which we are just creating right now. So basically we are done with this. It already knows, okay, this is the IP address we want you to check for, and this is our authentication, just our authentication, just to make sure, yeah, we are just legit users of user ID, right? So that's basically it. We are done with our IP enrichment. So this is basically going to enrich our IP address. So let's start running from this and then run our workflow. So this is basically going to run our workflow. So it gives me option to provide an argument, meaning, okay, which one of those brute force alert results do I want to use, to run this query or to run this workflow, because I told you guys we already triggered a lot of alerts, right? So we need to choose. So you can just choose anyone that, okay, yeah, it has the IP address and everything. So you can just like select this. Yeah, so it will run and so gives, yeah. So the first, as you can see, the first one is already run, right? So it gives us same results. We are waiting for the second node to run. I think it's running okay. Yeah, I think they updated it, but before, if it's running, it's going to show green line. Okay, if this node is currently running, it show green line to this node. So after it, then this one, if this is finished running, it will show another green node, green line. Sorry, the line will turn green, something like that. But I think that's more okay. So, so before this our node, or um before this is done, you can ask me any question based on what we discussed about so far. Feel free to ask a question before we continue. All right, so please do ask questions if you have any. Yeah, yeah, yes. Before our workflow is done running, ask your questions. No questions. So let's get back to see how our workflow is going. So basically it's not done. Let's see. Oh, yeah. This is taking much longer than it's supposed to. So basically this is it. Yeah, so let me quickly even explain what we are expecting to get. So what we are expecting to get is our enrichment results. So how is it going to be? So how it's going to be is that it's going to come in a form of JSON, obviously. You can see it gives us results in form of JSON, right? So after it comes in form of JSON, you're going to see the IP address score. Yeah, so abuse IBDB, I think, gives an IP address score, an integrity score, or something like that. So I'm going to see the score. So you can Also, okay, after this, you can add a node and create a logic saying, okay, if the abuse IVDB score gotten from this is greater than 50, so obviously this means the IP address is not a reputable IP address. So you can maybe do something like, okay, send a message or create a ticket, or yeah, this is a true positive or this is a false positive or something like that. So that's basically it. Just keep growing your. And listen, this has lots of flexibility. Let me give you an example. So we have a Python node. You can create or you can run your own Python scripts. Yeah, Python programming language actually, not Python the snake. Yeah. So why is this not? Because see this too slow. No, this you don't. Yeah. So this is a Python node. You can actually run our Python. No, we don't need to merge this. You can see repeat back to me. Execute Python. You can just simply type in your Python code, whatever it is you want to type in here, and it will execute your script. You can see, okay, if the IP reputation or the IP reputation score gotten from this abuse IBDB node is greater than 50, then what should I do? Maybe from the firewall, you can just search for a firewall. Let's say we are using which firewall? Which firewall? Oh my god. Let's say we are using PFSense firewall. Let's say we are using PFSense. Oh. Oh yeah, so we need to stop this because before you can be able to add aside. So we don't want to stop this one. We want to see the results. Yeah, maximum 1 minute it's done and it gives us our results. And then in case you're wondering, all you need to do in Shuffle is to build the workflow. You're not going to be coming every time just to run and execute the workflow and check for the result right here. You're not going to be seeing the result in form of JSON unless you have a very, very poor SOAR, you know, for SVR architect or something like that, or architecture. So obviously, you're going to be setting the automation in a form. Okay, it's going to do all these in the background, and then maybe send it to a place in which you can read it in the form of text in a more understandable way or in a more understandable manner. Right. So that's basically it. You can add more nodes. You can add actions. You have AI agent. You can have HTTP. You have trouble to have email. Yeah. So this is basically email. If you wanted to send an email to you, and yeah, you can let me quickly click on the email node and see how you can set it up. So this is basically an API key you're going to be using for any email service you are using. So this is the person who's going to be receiving the email subject, blah. You can see you can send email, send SMTP, get IMAP, pass EML, pass email, blah, 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 whatever it is. So let's say, for example, you get a phishing email or you think, okay, maybe this is a phishing email, right? Then you can send the file EML, right? So email file, the extension for email file is EML. You can just send it right here and pass it right here and try to do whatever it is you want to do with it. After this load, you can add another logic to do something with the email, maybe extract some fields and a lot of things actually. So let's check whether our workflow is going still not working. Mm. It's taking much longer time than expected. If you just don't give us an error, let's know if something is wrong, but it's taking time. Also, is there any question regarding this? Do anyone has any question regarding this? Yes, still not working. Oh my god. Yeah, so obviously it's taking much longer time than expected. Maybe it could be a network issue, it could be the API issue, or whatever it is. Right. So let's just quickly try to So I think we need to join this with something. No. Why did it? So I want to try to delete this node. No. I think it's network. That's why it's not giving us any response because it's still running. I can just minimize this. Maximize it. Minimize this. Maximize it. Yeah, so this is basically giving us a problem. So basically I just hope you guys just understand how shuffle works and how you can be able to use shuffle to build automations and all this stuff. Because you can leverage every single application and you can search for any application that comes to your mind. As long as you know, yeah, this application can be used to do this, you can just try to search it up right here, or try to even ask Google if the application is in shuffle. And they have an AI feature, a really cool AI feature right here, which you can just describe what you want and it will automatically generate workflow for you. No matter how huge or big the workflow is, you can just enter whatever it is you want to enter, and it's not even allowing us to type. I think the network is, but this is hosted locally. I don't know why this is not. Yeah, so basically this actually, so this an AI feature they have. You can just type in whatever description you want of the workflow and it will automatically generate it. But you need to actually know what it even generates and how you can edit it to your own preference or whatever workflow or design you are trying to build, right? So basically we are done with SOR and I hope you guys can know if there's anything you want me to show you guys again in Shuffle, I can show you guys. So this is basically how you can use Shuffle, show you guys how you can set up a node, how you can just configure this. Can see we have that, and make sure. And there's one thing. This action button is very very important because it's going to determine what the node is going to be doing for you, right? So you need to keep that in mind. We also have, you can see this is a send SMS shuffle, send SMS node. We have the get file me value, we have get file value, we have the Python, we have repeat back to me, which is actually this, obviously. Get file, and we have a lot of them. We have schedule, we can schedule stuff, we have shuffle workflow, we have user input. You can even get user input. Let me give you an example where this user input can help. Let's say, for example, you detected a brute force attack. Oh, sorry, you detected a failed password attempt from a user. You can create a workflow in which is going to prompt the user to, okay, it's typing, okay, are you even the one trying to, log into your account, something, so something like that actually. So the user can prompt, then you can use another Python node to create a logic which, okay, if the user prompting, yes, I am the one, then yes, okay, obviously is one. Then you can just pass or just drop the workflow and just everything should continue working smoothly. And if it's not one, you can just set another node which is going to be the firewall node to block the IP address, something like that. So basically, this is just how you can build detection, or sorry, response workflows or response playbooks. And I would actually suggest you guys to try to use this or try to build something with this and just try it out yourself and see. Right. So Mr. Ostus is raising up his hand. You can ask a question.
Okay, well done. Thank you very much. So, when I was writing my last semester project, I integrated Alien Vault OTX, a threat intelligence platform, into my SIM, right? So I wanted to to ask, if I if we integrate this what do you call it, threat intelligence platform, and then you notice that there is a high population of indicators of compromise, do you block them while you are creating your detection rule? Do you block them one after the other because it's going to be much? Or how do you do it so that you stay very, very proactive? Is it just to create a rule and say block all these things within this range? Or how do you do it? I just wanted to find out, because what we just did, I don't think we I don't think we created a detection rule that blocked every IOC we saw on the threat intel. We just did a simple integration. So after the integration, how do you now block these things to stay much more secure? Just a question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. I don't know if I get the question clear, but let me quickly repeat, and just so we can be on the same page. So I think, okay, after we get the IOCs from the threat intelligence platform you're using, whatever it is, in your case, Alien Vault, right? So after we get the IOCs, what next? We will follow them one by one and block. Maybe try to explain that part. Let me quickly hear it.
You are saying what I mean. Go ahead.
What is
Do
it?
you understand, sir? I said you're
Yeah, come
trying to
again, come again.
explain what I mean. Do you follow them one after the other? Do you follow them one after the other in creating a detection rule that blocks everything? Do you understand? In your response, do you block it
Yeah,
one after the other? Do you block it one after the other? Because it will be much. So what do you do to,
yeah.
put those indicators of compromise that are populating in check so that they do not, harm your system?
Yes, well, actually, obviously, I'm going to be blocking them, but obviously, we're not going to be doing it. We're not going to be doing it one after the other, because that's one of the reasons why automation is in place. All you need to do is just to set a logic whenever you see or whenever you detect this an IOC, or whenever you think this is an IOC or this could be an IOC, then you should just automatically block it. And then maybe alert you that, okay, we block social IP address. Maybe it will send you an email, okay, we blocked social IP address, and this is the reason why we blocked it, because we suspected that this could be an IOC, and this is why. So you can personally try to do the investigation. But if it blocked it for an obvious reason, like, okay, obviously this is just an IOC, it doesn't even need to tell you that, okay, we blocked it. But if it's contemplating, or it could be maybe a user trying to do something, and maybe the system flagged it as an IOC, you can try to do the investigation by yourself. But the best thing is to block every single thing that has to do that looks like an IOC. That's actually how it's been done. Block every single thing that looks like an IOC. So also that answer your question.
Yes, I got logged out, but I just came back in, right?
Yeah.
I don't mean to waste your time, but can you hear me? There is just something I wanted to point out, right?
Yeah.
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Okay, so before we got the population, right, we went into Alien Vault UTX and then started subscribing for threat intel pulses, right? Like pulses are like just updates about indicators of compromise, right? So,
Yeah.
and we subscribed to various pulses, like we subscribed to a lot. For me, I subscribed to like up to like 30. And then on my threat intel population on the SIM, you could see like a thousand indicators of compromise popping up, right? So now, if
Yeah.
you have those array of indicators of compromise populating, right? How do you
Yeah.
operate in such a way that you contain it generally, so that you don't have to be stressing yourself about, if this IP address is malicious, let me quickly contain it or block it before it tries to harm my system or so. Do you understand? So I was just
Yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to, build a picture. Yes, I was just trying to build a picture. Now you have the indicators of compromise populating. Do you have to sit down and start monitoring every attack to say, okay, I have seen this before, let me block it? or you have to block it immediately so that it doesn't harm the system. And if you block it immediately, how many of those indicators of compromise are you going to block? Like how many of those? Because they are much, right?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So first of all, what I will say is the first thing you even need to be careful about choosing, the alien virtual intelligence, right? Is it important in my environment? And your environment can be kind of production environment. That's time and go plenty. Is it the false positive or true positive? Positive, right? You need to just filter out all of them. If you find a number than the true positive, what you need to do is to, yeah. So you need to fine tune it to just gives a lot of true positive. You need to actually put work. That's basically it. So that's one of the reasons. That's one of the places where automation actually kicks in, because if you get a lot of IOCs and they are actually malicious, what you need to do is just set up an automation system that will automatically block whatever IOC is being generated or is being populated, so to go around this, just automatically detect them, and if so, you can try to see if it's actually what's blocking or it's just a user trying to do something in the network. Yeah, because there are some people who do some stuff they are not supposed to be doing in the company's network, and yeah, it can be flagged. So you need to unblock the APIs, maybe a report, and you take a lead or something like that. So that's actually it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
I hope I have answered the question, Mr. Osus.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that actually depends on how you want to go around it. Some people, that's why we is to fine tune whatever it is that's generating false positive, right? So you need whatever it is, whatever large amount of attacks are going to be coming in, they need to be true positive. Okay, this is really an attack, so you can actively or you can just try to respond to it immediately. Also, you mentioned that it's a lab environment. That unless you expose the people are going to be trying to, or automated bots are going to try to send some attacks to it. But apart from that, obviously they are all false positive because it's a lab. It's going to be a to control environment. So I don't know how your setup is, but that's basically it. All right. So I hope you got that. Mr. Ostus.
Yeah, it's fine, sir. It's fine, sir. It's okay. Thank you, sir.
What? All right. Give me a few minutes. I'm sorry. All right, so I think that's basically it. We are done with shuffle, and I believe there's no question that has to do with shuffle. So we have two more things just to talk about before we end this class. So first one, I'm going to be talking about some soft skills you need to have as a SOC analyst, and then we're also be talking about what next after this, boot camp and everything. What is the best things? What are the things we're supposed to be doing? Maybe to job hunts, maybe for internships. Through this, let's talk about incidents report writing. What's the best way to write an incident report? Let me quickly open Notepad 2 because we're going to be using Notepad 2. Just try. Yeah, so this doesn't need to be here. Yeah, so basically, let's talk about the best way to write an incident report or incidents report writing. Right, so in a SOC or security operations center, obviously detecting alerts or detecting attacks are half of the jobs I'm going to be doing. The other half is actually documenting it and escalating the attacks or alerts to maybe senior SOC analysts or your other team members actually to investigate or to take actions, right? So these are five things you need to look into if or when writing a report. So first one is what happened. Okay, you detected a brute force attack from this IP address at this time, blah blah. So first of all, is what happened. When did it happen? I'm going to try to write our own incident report right here. I'm going to try to write an incident report, and I think I downloaded some templates for and I'm going to be showing you guys. So we say what happened, when it happened, when did it happen, then which systems were affected when it happened, and also what is the impact it had on the systems, and then what should be done next, or what's the next step, or what's next we're supposed to be doing, or your SEC team are supposed to be doing. Right. So let's write a simple incident report and see. Let's open this. Yeah, so I'm just currently zooming in so you guys can see. So first of all, I'm going to start with the instance title. No, let's type it here. Brute force, brute force attack on SSH server. So first of all, this is the title of sorry, I spelled the attack. No, sorry. Let's don't worry. All right, so SSH brute force on SS. Oh, sorry, brute force attack on SSH server. Yeah, so then the detection date. You can add titles actually. You can put okay dates detected, which is also very important. Let's say March. I think when 8th of March, March 8th, 2026. Right. So you can also add title to this, maybe incident title or something like that, and then summary, which is very very important. Also summary, you can say multiple failed no, multiple failed, as we say, SSH login attempts. This doesn't have to be in capital letter actually. Were detected from then IP address. Let's see 172.20.10.3, right, which is my IP address. When targeting the let's say the server IP address is 176.90.12. Yeah. So let's use this as the um the IP address of the target. So it's a very very good and brief summary. Multiple fake SSH attempts were detected from IP address blah blah targeting the IP address blah blah. So detection method. How do you detect? How did you detect this attack? Right. So you can add detection method. Yeah, so my hands are not really comfortable. That's why I'll be making a lot of mistakes. So let's see. Detection method, long alert. So we detected it via Splunk alert. Fuel, as I said. So what's the name of the alert we set? Let's say brute force. So this is going to be the name or the title we set for the alert in Splunk. Brute force alert. So let's say, for example, this is it. Then affected system. Which system was being attacked by the brute force attack? Let's see our target. I think targets Ubuntu VM. Then also, what did the log show or what did your analysis show? So we can go by saying log analysis. See, log analysis shows more than 239 failed login attempts within three minutes. No, within, yeah, let's say 5 minutes from the same IP address. Yeah, yeah. So let's quickly. Yeah, we're not done actually. So let's quickly go through our our little incident response. No, sorry, incident report. Right. So root force attack detected on SSH server, which is the title of the attack. Then date detected March 8th, 2026, which is today. Multiple failed SSH login attempts were detected from this IP address, targeting this IP address, and this is the detection method Splunk alert, brute force alert. It automatically, this is telling the person reading this that okay, this alert was being triggered in Splunk. Then the affected system was the affected system is our target virtual box, which is our Ubuntu machine, right? And our analysis shows that the log analysis shows more than 239 failed login attempts within 5 minutes from the same IP addresses, which is obviously a brute force attack. So whoever's reading this will also come to conclusion that this is a brute force attack. So what do we need to add? Yeah, so as I said earlier, the 5 stages or 5 things which you need to keep in mind when writing an insurance report is the impact. So we need to write impact. Which is impact. Let's see, possible brute force. Not even possible brute force. Obviously, this is a brute force, but we need to just, let's say, example, we're escalating it. We're escalating this alert to maybe a senior manager or senior SOC analyst. So we just need to, let's see, possible brute force attacks attempting, no, yeah. So let's say attempting to gain unauthorized access to um but should we just let's just put the username instead of specifying the IP address or putting in the IP address? But box, right? Station, the source, yeah, source IP or attacking IP slash attacking. Right? Yeah, you can just leave it as source IP address, right? Which is the source IP address, or which is the IP address that's trying to launch the attack or that's trying to access the accounts. And check out. Let's see, check out policy. So yeah, obviously your company might have or should have an account checkout policy in which maybe they're going to be logging out the account for some investigation or something like that. So this basically document what's going to be recommended. Hmm. Oh, we don't need to save this right now. So this is basically our brute force attack, our simple incidents report. So this is basically what you're going to be sending to your, or if you want to escalate this, but you're not going to be sending this in a form of documents. Merely, you're going to be writing this maybe in maybe your ticketing systems. Yeah, your ticketing system is going to have a place in which you can give a description or whatever you did before you can escalate it. So obviously it's all automated, but this is just an example of way in which you can just create your insurance reports. Right. So do you know have any question regarding this?
Yeah, hello, sir.
Yeah, self can hear you.
Okay, sorry to disturb you again. I can only see the date, which is March 8th, right? Is there no need for timestamp, like to put
Uh,
the time that the is there no need for a timestamp since we already know if even if the event occur, even if the event here or the incident occurred March 8th, is there no need to put in
yeah.
timestamp? Is there no need to put in the timestamp?
Yeah, actually, there's need to put in time. Let me quickly explain something. So, this is not just going to be sent like this because you need to prove. Just me reading this is not going to convince me that this is a brute force attack. The timestamp or whatever the logs, you also need screenshot of logs. But as I said, you're not going to be sending it in a form of document. You're going to be submitting this maybe in a ticketing system, and that ticketing system is going to contain the alert, right? That was being generated. So obviously, it's just you escalating the alert or sending the alerts to your senior manager and then imputing all of this, then just you putting all of this into the ticketing system. So it's going to send in both with the logs and everything. So it's going to see everything. You don't really need to add a timestamp. But if you are just writing an incident responder, maybe you're an incident responder, you're not more a tier one SOC analyst, you're an incident responder. It's very important to also add the timestamp and also screenshots. Screenshots are also very, very important. I want to also add screenshots. I think let me quickly, I think I have yeah, so this is a technical incident response template. Mm, yes. Let me just quickly open it and see. Yes, I can see this. Obviously, your company watermark is going to, so your company's letter ID is going to be here. So this is a technical incident response report, like something like that, prepared by you as an incident. Sorry, department, okay, SOC analyst or incident response or IT, incident name, incident number. So every incident also have its own number. Yeah, so this is a table of content, the purpose incident summary. So what we just did is writing an incident response. Maybe if you want to escalate it, but if you want to, okay, we already know that this is an incident. Okay, you already escalated it, and the person you escalated the incident for has already done his own part of investigation and confirmed that yes, this is a true positive, and this is actually an incident, report. So this was going to be the purpose, incident summary, information exposure, investigation findings, containment, blah blah. So this basically this is the purpose. This is the incident summary, how the incidents were detected. So this is just a template, obviously. So it's just showing you what to include in the incident summary. So this is the information exposure. What information was breached, access, stolen, and impact with respect to operation, teaching, or research. So this is the investigation findings, MBE, detection source, and description. So everything is going to be here actually. Incident analysis. If there's any malware found, something like that. List of assets compromised. How many endpoints were compromised? So maybe servers, how many servers? In our case, we have only the targets virtual box here, which is going to be adding the IP address, purpose, okay, comments, containment, blah blah blah. Very important. If you don't forget, in our last cloud, I told you guys about the incident response, more, right? We have the eradication recovery and all this stuff. So basically, that's why we are not able to see the timestamp in our own part of the in our own part of our reports. And also, that is going to be something, they are part of being a SOC analyst. You must be a tier one SOC analyst, tier two SOC analyst, tier three SOC analyst. Yeah, tier 600 are normally incident responders. So if this was an advanced class, an advanced SOC class, obviously we're going to be talking about ticketing systems and also doing some incident response with those ticketing systems. So that's when we're going to be doing those kind of reports. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Ostos.
Yes, I get it now. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's basically why we don't have a timestamp included. But if you are just submitting, okay, let's see example, you are doing everything manually, you need to include the timestamp, a screenshot of the logs, but not like just a random screenshot of it. Let me give you an example. Let's see, search. Give you an example. Yeah, so it's because we have 3,604 failed login attempts, right? So if you say screenshot, this is basically what you're going to be screenshotting. Not that you're going to screenshot, let's see, this. Yeah, so not you basically screenshotting this because we have a lot here. So you need to, narrow it down and screenshot just that part that has to do with, okay, showing that evidence here. We have actually the failed login attempts and all this, and maybe evidence that the alert was actually being triggered, right? So we're not going to see any alert here because obviously our alerts were being sent to our shop, for instance, or something like that. So you need to also give evidence that the alert was being triggered and also something like that, basically. But in a ticket system, actually, it's even more not complicated as this. All you need to do is just to include this summary. You can just do multiple failed SSH attempts were detected from this IP, and then maybe you add log analysis shows more than 209 failed login attempts, blah blah blah, what you did, and then what your thoughts actually. So you can, okay, this is a false positive or this is a true positive, and why did you conclude that it's a true positive or false positive? So that's basically what you're going to be typing in the ticketing system or something like that. So that's basically all incident response stuff and forensic or investigation stuff, right? So I hope I've answered the question.
All right. Yeah, great, sir. Thank you.
All right, so we talked about incident response documentation. Let's talk about documenting an alert. Yeah, documenting an alert is also all right. So basically I'm back. So as I said, there's a difference between you know documenting an alert and also documenting an incident because when an alert is being generated, you don't even know if it's really an incident or not. It could be just a false positive. document those alerts. So similar to an incident. It's just that an alert being generated. All you need to do is just to in your same tool or security system, whatever it read the description. Maybe you're not the one who said the alert. You read this blah blah blah, and then you saw it being triggered. Or let's say it triggers a brute force attack. Okay, you need to do login attempts were gotten. Is there any successful login attempt after the failed login attempt? And so that's what you need to do. So after I finish doing all of that, and then you need to just summarize all of this in and then type it or send it to your team view the alerts. You're going to do the investigation. You're going to write the incident response reports and all this stuff. So it depends on the structure of the company, structure of writing an incident report, and also and documenting an alert actually. And yeah, even the documented alert, it's very important to highlight some points where the involved, the user that was involved, just same as the experience about you do some little investigation and you're not sure, then you just escalate. Think it's a post possible, but you're not sure. Try to document it and then just escalate it to on your team just to confirm or something like that. Actually, yeah. So next, we're going to be talking about communication with senior analysts or senior cybersecurity analysts. Yeah, one thing you need to understand is that senior cybersecurity analysts don't much care much about the technical insights of your log or an incident. What they care more about is the business impact, right? Business impacts, because obviously that's what they're going to be talking about. They're going to be telling their superiors, such as maybe CEOs and all this, because they are not technical people. So what they care about is the business impact. Okay, you detect the brute force attack. What's the business impact? Maybe in the HR's computer or the uh, someone's computer in the organization. What's the business impact of that? That's basically what they care about. So there's what we call the bluff format, bottom line up. That's the following of block format. That's basically one of the best ways you can communicate to you know senior SOC analysts. Right. So let's say for example you want to create or you want to summarize everything and send to a senior analyst or maybe SOC manager. Let's say a SOC manager, because SOC manager is one of the highest level or highest rank when it comes to a SOC, because he's one who oversees whatever it is that's going on. So let's say for example, okay, you see of which is possible SSH before attack detected against a server. Let's use targets virtual machine as a server, then details 20 login attempts within 3 minutes, impact potential unauthorized access attempts, and then let's say next step recommend login source IP. So basically this not going to work for them. For Suki, they already know that this is a brute force attack, but what's the impact? What's the business impact? You can be like, okay, let's say for example the report can be something like, okay, we detected a brute force attack on or from this IP address within 3 minutes, which could lead to maybe loss of customers data, or we detected a malware in this system which could lead to maybe loss of finance or something like that. So that's basically something or the type of reports you should be creating for senior SOC analysts, right? So basically that's it when it comes to report writing or best ways in which you can write reports. So these are some of the soft skills you need to learn as a SOC analyst, because most SOC analysts focus more on let me just quickly share it. So most SOC analysts focus more on just learning technical skills rather than learning okay soft skills such as documentation, communication. We also have oral communication, not just communication using text or documentation, but also oral communication, how you can speak to your senior managers about a cybersecurity incident. That's something you should also work on, which is very important. You should also work on your communication skills. That's basically communication skills, not really nothing. It don't really have nothing to do with cybersecurity. There's just communication, which is very important. You should also have. So these are just some soft skills that are very important for you to know. As even as a Tiawan Sokanese, even though you're not going to be doing it much, but you should actually know that. Is there any question we have about what we just discussed before we can move on? Yeah. All right. So I believe there's no any questions. So let's quickly talk about the after this. We are done with our class today. What next? And with the skills or whatever it is you have learned so far in this class, um, what can you actually do? What next? What should you even do next? Let me actually say something. What I would recommend you to do next is first of all build projects. Obviously, already building a project, not just one. And it's also important to understand that it's quality over quantity. Yeah, it's very important to build quality projects over plenty projects. You can all have one project as long as that project it's reasonable project, a very good project. It's better than a person who has creation sake. That's one thing, creating projects, because that's going to boost your portfolio. A good online presence, very good online presence, which you're going to get in connections and all those things. You just have good online presence, not only LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is. Have an online presence next cohort. Maybe if there's another course you should apply again, maybe you can get a chance to get it. If you get an instructor, he will know something, not something like that. So it's basically experience, right? So you should also join the next cohort if you can, if you have the time or if you're available. But at that time, you should join the next cohort. The next thing, okay, what the next thing you can do? Have one project. If you don't have a project, start applying for internships and jobs. You don't know where or actually what could happen, right? So start applying for internships and jobs, and you also need to be aware of the type of internships you apply for because there are internships that are just internships, not they're not actually going to learn anything. They are just internships, right? Because I will not forget there's a time I applied for an internship. I applied for an internship. They gave me the internship. They put up. Actually, I was not much more. I like 2 to 3 months. They just sent me an email with my certificate and recommendation letter without me even doing anything. I did not even know the tax I was being given to the other team members. So you need to also know which type of internships or you should look out for or you should even be joining. And there's a saying that it's also there is no such thing as entry level position. So what people mean when they say this is that there's no position that's going to be given to you if you don't actually know anything. You need to at least have something. You need to have experience. So based on the best way to get experiences. And also don't play with your connections. Connections meaning you should connect with people. Know a lot of people that can refer you, right? You just know a lot of people that can refer you to any job. Be the person that okay, whenever someone is looking for a SOC analyst, you are the person that will first come to his mind. Maybe because he's always seeing your posts on social media. Uh, all you talk about is anything that has to do with SOC or cybersecurity. So just be that person that whenever someone gets an opportunity that has to do with cybersecurity, you are the first person that has to come to his mind. So just position yourself that way, and believe me, a lot of things will happen. And also yes, let me see. And also, yeah, if you're a student, if you're not still yet graduated university, you should take advantage of that because there are a lot of advantages or there are a lot of opportunities for students who are still in university, such as also attend as much tech events as possible. Yeah, most universities organize maybe some small tech event or tech meetups, just meet with people who are on the same field as you, maybe cybersecurity. You can even connect with people who are not into cybersecurity. Yeah, and those people who manage to be into cybersecurity can also pay the ones refining. Yeah. And lastly, so let's say for example you need to monetize your skill. It's very important to monetize your skill, especially if you're into tech or cybersecurity, because the reason why we are doing all of this is just to make money. Actually, yeah, yeah, the passion is there, but without it, it's nothing. So what you need to do is influencer or cybersecurity influencer. You don't want to be a person who's just you don't want anything that has to do with social media. You just want to get a good job and you just do your thing, keep growing. So you need to find a part. Those are part of key. All you need is to find a job. So how do you find a job? Finding a job, you need online presence. You need a very very good online presence. You need to stand out, and also it's not just you being online. It's just you standing out online. Okay. Yeah. You think just maybe just something you feel. Okay, let's for example, I said something, maybe writing a report, you now feel, okay, this is how I feel that's supposed to be written. You can just make a post on that. That's you showing your own personal opinion on things. And that's actually one of the best way you can, grow on social media and also gain recognition. Yeah, just sharing your own opinion, thoughts, and also documenting your journey. Yeah, that's also very important. Also try to join as much tech communities as possible to meet more people because you never know who is going to open the door for you. Right. So, is there any question before we call it a day? Because we only have, I think, 7 minutes left. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Ibrahim, can you hear me? Hello, sir, can you hear me? Hello, sir, are you there?
All right. Sorry for that. I think I had a network glitch again. So, as I was saying, is there any feedbacks before we continue?
Yeah,
Before we call it a day?
Mr. Idris, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mr. Ostos.
Okay, mine is just an appreciation. You understand? Thank you for taking out your time throughout this mentorship program. Even what will I say? There are times that it's not convenient for us, but we showed up, right? And for all you did, for all I have learned, I am very, very grateful, and I sincerely appreciate you, right? God bless you. We hope to meet on higher grounds, right? And I will be proud to say that you mentored me at some point in my life. So I sincerely appreciate you. God bless you.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Ostos. I really appreciate also. Yeah. Yeah. And so let me quickly just share something. A lot of you are even wondering, am I even working as a stock analyst? Am I currently working as a stock analyst? Something like that. Yeah. Let me quickly share my background or what I'm currently, or the phase I'm currently in my career. So, first of all, I'm in the university. I'm in Bayero University, Kano, right? I'm an IT student, which is information technology. I just got admission to study information technology. And yeah, before I got admission, I was working. But obviously, you can. It will be very, very hard for you to join two things together: working as a cybersecurity specialist and also, um, you know, managing school work together. So I had to just leave one and carry on. So I had to obviously go with the school and uh, just let go of the job. I know a job will not be something for me. It will not be something hard for me to find after school or even during the period of school, maybe later on, right? So a lot of things I actually do maybe to keep my skills intact, to just keep updated and just to continue doing something to survive actually, maybe to gain some money or something like that. So one of the things actually I do or I'm going to start doing actually is social media. Like I'm going to be on social media very, very well, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, X, LinkedIn, whatever it is. I'm going to be on social media because yeah, that's one of the best way I can keep growing, keep getting more opportunity that doesn't have to do with full-time job. Because right now I'm not really interested in anything that's with full-time job because I can't even handle that. Right. So just like maybe opportunity. So maybe opportunity. So at the first when I joined the mentorship program, I was still working. Joining this program, so I just have something to be doing in the meantime before I can get other stuff to do. But now I have a lot of things because you see from January to March. Today is March 8th, right? I've gotten like five job offers. Yeah, five job. Not some I applied, some I did not apply. Some are voluntary jobs, some are not really voluntary. But yeah, none of them are international opportunities, which every single person is actually looking for an international opportunity. But yeah, so how do I actually do this? How do I actually got this opportunity? Basically, I started cybersecurity class. Yeah, I was in SS1. I started cybersecurity class when I was in SS1. I started from red hunter, something like that. So I started. I was doing, and I figured out no, actually red team is not actually the thing for me. So I diverted into blue team. And when I was in SS2, going to SS3, actually, I got my first job offer from a tech academy in Abuja. So obviously, I wasn't able to go because I lived in Kaduna, I based in Kaduna, so I wasn't able to go to Abuja for that. Yeah, so I just keep doing what I was doing. So I graduated secondary school and got some opportunities, which I also wouldn't go for because of school and all this stuff, right? So basically, the best way or ways in which I get these opportunities is by referral. Yes, by referral. Yes, actually, my nickname is Cyber Kid. In case you're wondering, yeah, they call me Cyber Kid because you know, obviously, I started since I was a kid, and yeah, so referral. A lot of people know me for what I do because yeah, my nickname actually is Cyber Kid. So obviously, whenever someone hears someone calling my name, it's going to be like, why is this person being called this? And then it's going to like, he's into cybersecurity or something. So that's how I get referral. So that's why you need to also brand yourself. Branding is also very, very important. Yes, you need to brand yourself to the extent that okay, whenever you hear the word Nike or Adidas, you already know okay, yeah, this shoe brand. Or whenever you hear the word Victor Akinode, you'll be like what's or who's Victor Akinode? You can just simply search online and know that okay, Victor Akinode is a person who gives out free cybersecurity classes, free cybersecurity mentorship, and blah 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 blah. You can something that is very very important to brand because branding can bring you more opportunities than just you being your normal self and doing stuff. It's very very important to brand yourself, and branding is just you being unique. What is it that is special in you that a lot of people don't have or a lot of people don't do, a lot of people don't know, or something like that. So that's why it's very very important to brand yourself. And also let's talk about some stuff you can do if or before you get a full-time opportunity. First one, you can decide to start having a cybersecurity classes. Yeah, you can have paid cybersecurity classes, and yeah, but before you have paid cybersecurity classes, you need to actually put a lot of things in mind. You need to make sure that yeah, you're actually committed. You need to be showing up for students and all this stuff. So you need to first of all you can have a paid cybersecurity class. Second of all, you can offer services, which I'm currently doing also, offering services. Let me give you an example. You need to also be creative. You know, yeah, we have the CIA trade in cybersecurity. CIA trade is it's a it's a concept in cybersecurity or baseline in cybersecurity, which stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability, right? So what I thought about, okay, small businesses, some of the small businesses want to integrate cybersecurity but don't know where to start from or have low budget. So, what if you can implement something that will have confidentiality, integrity, and availability for them, which is all the basis of cybersecurity? They will have confidentiality in their data, they will have integrity, and also their data will be available. So, what I decided to do is to just set up something very, very easy, or I can set up something very, very easy for small company, which is going to make sure they have integrity. Yeah, that maybe their data is confidential, also has integrity at the same time, and also maybe setting up a disk encryption for them. Even though you have BitLocker, you can do that using BitLocker, just encrypting their disks for them, so that anyone who steals their data or steals their computers or something like that will not have access to their information. That's confidentiality, right? And then availability, just to make sure that every single time you want to access something, let's for example, their data or their data should be accessible from any single where in the world. Maybe okay, their boss traveled to another country or he traveled somewhere, he should be able to access that data from anywhere in the world securely. So that's just like a business model, or that's just something you can just create or just think about. Okay, as a stock analyst, as we just talk about shuffle. Shuffle is a very resource intensive tool, but it's a tool that can come in handy for small businesses or small medium enterprises. How can you create something like Shuffle, or how you leverage something, maybe some other existing tool that can do something, so the same work as Shuffle, and then maybe leverage it for small medium enterprises, and maybe you install it for them and get money for that, or something like that. So if you are doing those kind of stuff, you are solving problems, because companies want people who solve problems, and maybe in your resume your CV is going to have, okay, I solved this problem for this SMEs, or I did this, I did it. So that's actually going to boost you very, very well in the, the tech ecosystem, or in the tech community. And by the time you're doing all of this, it's waiting for you and something like that, right? Yeah, basically, I think there's no question. Yeah, yeah. So basically, that's it. So actually, after this, I've decided actually to start, you um, having mentorship classes. This is because actually this mentorship classes has made me learn a lot of things, such as maybe touching some things I have paid, maybe doing some things I did I have not done, something like that. So I decided to do start some cybersecurity training and mentorship and all this stuff, and also at the same time maybe just starting my own startup, right? Just trying to do something. So I'm currently planning on also building something, and I hope you guys could be the people who would benefit from it. Yeah, and also I'm currently looking for international opportunities, even on international opportunities, especially scholarship opportunities and graduate scholarship opportunities. And then, and yeah, that's basically it. So I think that's what will be it for this class, and see you guys. Yeah, see you guys in the presentation day, right? And I actually hope you guys will actually do a good job in the presentation day, because I've started reviewing your projects, and some of you are at screenshots in your projects, which 40 out of 100%, because no proof that you did it. It's just everyone can just write a bunch of text. So you need screenshots, screenshot approved. So after reviewing all of them, I'm going to be bringing out names of people who have not, or who did just try to maybe reach out to me and maybe tell me on, right? So
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Azumi.
yeah.
Hello, sir. Okay.
yeah, so it's time already, and maybe a lot of you guys have other stuff to do. For you can quickly speak, but if you have any notification, you can simply drop your message, whatever it is you want to say, in the group. So you can respond to that, or can simply send it to my DM. So you can just discuss about that. And thank you very much for that, and we'll meet in the presentation day.